This is Joy News Prime with me, Samuel Kojo Brace. In our lead stories this hour, presidency fires at North Tongue MP, describing his claims about the president's travel to Belgium and Rwanda as untruthful and not factual. We'll bring you details of a statement responding to the MP in which he is urged to resist the temptation of engaging in propaganda and get you his reaction. Albert Jumfo elected as new president for the Ghana Journalists Association after close to 2 years of stalemate.
Had David Agbenu having 30 valid votes, so 30. Gerhard Mensah had 40. Then Albert Kwabena Dumfo had 72 votes.
Also, residents of Akango in the Nzema East municipality of the Western region forced out of their homes after torrential rains.
This yentimin twakura yanko hanso aduane a yebedi so e den yemaye ti yebaye o se yetwawe yedu honso na moto sanfa ya edu edwom honti. It's been
truthful and factual. That's the message from the presidency to the North Tongue MP Samuel Okujeto-Ablakwa. Mr. Ablakwa, in his latest release on the president's foreign travels, had alleged the president had chartered a German-based private jet operator, K5 Aviation, on his recent trips to Belgium and Rwanda, costing the taxpayer 480,000 euros. As you may know, this is not the first time the North Tongue MP had raised concerns about what he describes as the luxurious foreign travels of the president. He had even filed a question in Parliament demanding full accountability of the travels. But the details he sought were declined on grounds that it bordered on national security. But the presidency has responded to his latest claim. We'll bring you details of that shortly. But what exactly did Samuel Okujeto-Ablakwa say? Let's go to his Facebook page where he put up a post. Now, if you look at the Facebook page, it states that my attention has been drawn to a Facebook post by Honorable Samuel Okujeto-Ablakwa, Member of Parliament for North Tongue, stating categorically that for the President Akufo-Addo's current travel to Belgium and Rwanda beginning Sunday the 19th of June 2022 to attend the 15th edition of the European Development Days Forum in Brussels, Germany, and the 26th meeting of the heads of government of the Commonwealth of Nations in Kigali, Rwanda, we can confirm a conservative bill of 480,000 euros there. My colleague Blessed Soga joins me through Zoom with details of the presidency's response. Blessed, what is the statement? And I must add that this is not the first time the presidency, or this is the first time the presidency has directly responded to Mr. Ablakwa since he started raising concerns about the presidential travels. Now, Blessed, did the president indeed travel by a rented aircraft again?
Well, indeed, the statement that was received from the presidency points out clearly that on Wednesday, the 22nd of June, indeed, the president chartered a flight from Brussels. It's an 8-hour flight from Brussels to Kigali on Wednesday, the 22nd of June, except that the presidency is explaining to us that this was done to ensure that the president made it to Kigali on time to participate in the groundbreaking ceremony which happened on Thursday, which is the project involving Ghana, Rwanda, Senegal, and some other African countries in terms of the development of a vaccine. But the statement that we are clearly getting signed by Eugene from the presidency explains that, first of all, they're challenging the account of Samuel Okujeto-Ablakwa that the president indeed used Airbus ACJ 319. That's the first point that the presidency is challenging from the ranking on Parliament's Foreign Affairs Committee. Indeed, they're pointing out that when the president traveled on the 19th of June, he made a stopover somewhere in Burkina Faso, and then from Burkina Faso traveled all the way to France, Paris, where in fact the president joined a 12-member delegation. And the statement is pointing out clearly that the 12-member delegation all traveled commercial when the initial trip was made to Paris. Now, we're also getting that indication from the statement that as part of the European Development Days event, the presidency together with the team, and the president himself had to travel via train when the president arrived in Paris to the venue, which is somewhere in Brussels, where the president moved to. Now, after that event, and upon arrival in Brussels, we're being told from the statement that the presidency was then notified on Sunday about some demonstration and industrial action in the aviation sector in Brussels. And as a result, so over 300 flights were grounded in Brussels, making it completely impossible for the presidential team to move commercial again from Brussels back to Kigali. And the statement continues to indicate that at this point, the security of the president was paramount, and there was no way that they could have moved back to London or any other European country to make the trip, 8-hour trip from Brussels to Kigali. Hence the decision then that was taken by the team to do a direct flight, by a chartered flight this time around, to enable the president join his Rwandan counterpart in Kigali on Thursday, as the statement is pointing.
Now, this statement also confirms that indeed a First Lady traveled to Rwanda using the presidential jet. So why did the president not use that?
Well, clearly, from what we're being told from the statement, it appears that the decision of the presidency is that anytime the president is making a trip beyond 6 hours, there'll be a requirement for the president to opt for an alternative means of transport aside from the usual means that we know, which is the travel on the presidential jet. So if you look at the distance between Accra and Kigali, that's quite shorter. So it's easier and safe from the interpretations we're getting from the statement for the First Lady to travel by that means to Kigali. And then the plan was to have the president then join the First Lady back to Accra through that route. But then, obviously, due to the aviation the happenings in Brussels, we're being told that it was completely not possible for the president and his team to move through the commercial means from Brussels to Kigali.
Now, what more does the statement say about the president's itinerary?
So in a bid to obviously prove that indeed the president is committed to using the presidential jet, we're being told in the statement signed by Eugene Ahi that the president, for instance, will be making a trip with the presidential jet in the coming days. We're being told that the president is scheduled to attend another conference, which is scheduled for the 26th of June in Lisbon. We're expecting that that's quite a shorter trip where the president is expected to return on Wednesday, the 29th of June. So the expectation then from the presidency is that we'll see the president use the presidential jet. At least that's being said in the statement. As to whether that would happen indeed on the grounds is something that we're still keeping our eyes on.
All right. Now, moving on to other stories. After close to 2 years of operating without a legitimate leadership, journalists in Ghana have today elected Albert Jumfo as their new president. He beat competition from David Agbenu and Gerhard Mensah in the keenly contested race, which is the first since the expiration of the tenure of the Afel Moni-led administration in November 2020. 8 others also put themselves up for General Secretary, Organizing Secretary, and Public Relations Officer. My colleague Manuel Kuranting monitored the process for us and reports.
A military officer, I cannot ask you to give me your weapon. That is their gun. Give me your weapon. So you asked me to hand over my camera to you, and I said no, I wouldn't. That day, I swear to God, they gave me a beating of my life.
That is Stanley Nee Bleu. He's been working as a multimedia journalist with Accra-based TV3 for 7 years now. As a member of the Ghana Journalists Association, Stanley, like the hundreds of other members across the country, has missed the benefits of having a robust leadership for close to 2 years now. The effect? Telling.
I would say that ever since I joined TV3 in 2015, I have been attacked on 3 occasions, and my last one has to do with a military assault at the Tama station. I was assigned to go and cover sanitation. So for the past 2 years that there has not been any effective leadership, a gap was created, and there are issues that the association needed to have addressed within that 2 years, which were not addressed properly or not tackled at all.
Stanley's case is only one of many journalists who have been yearning for a strong voice to speak for them. Ghana dropped 30 places in the latest press freedom rankings from 30th in 2021 to 60th in 2022, the worst performance in almost 2 decades. But after a protracted tussle, that is about to change, or at least expected to change.
Important. The issue of having a robust institution that will defend journalism and journalists, and also be that, active voice in the national discourse is very important. And so today we hope to charter a new path for journalism in the country.
More than 800 journalists are at the polls selecting new leaders. For a lot of them, this is the breaking of a new dawn for journalists in Ghana.
Those candidates, particularly the presidential candidates, they have very good programs. Everybody has a very positive program that they are all talking about the interests of the journalists, training, capacity building, unionization, all those things I think very good, and I'm sure it will go to endure into the progress of journalism in the country.
I'm so happy that it's happening because anytime they announce a date, it looks like a mirage to me, but today I'm seeing the reality, and I think that after this, I don't think the association will be what it used to be. I think we'll be seeing a new and a better Ghana Journalists Association.
The process was, however, not without a few blemishes. Some voters, including Randy Abbey of Metro TV and Ken Ashigbe, could not find their names in the register.
Unfortunately, I didn't find my name in the register, so I did not vote. In as much as I had so much interest in the elections, I did not find my name in the register.
You attempted to vote?
I wanted to vote. I really wanted to vote, but I could not.
Outgoing President Roland Afeomoni admits this is a blot on the integrity of the election.
We do understand that every electoral process is short of perfection. Every electoral process is short of perfection. So in conducting every election, national and internationally, perfection is an impossible goal. So it's natural for this process to be characterized by a few imperfections.
Everybody is supposed to be allowed to exercise their own franchise. They pay their dues, and that's the benchmark that we use in determining which journalists in good standing in the association. If they did and their names are not in the electoral register, we are denying them their democratic rights as members of the
majority of our members who registered had their names captured. And as I said, in the best repeating, that's when it comes to elections, elections are the centerpiece of democracy. But when it comes to democracy elections, perfection is an impossible goal.
We had David Agbanu having 30 votes. Gerhard Mensah had 40. Then Albert Kwabena Dumfuo had 72 votes.
In the end, whether it is Dave Agbenu, Gerhard Mensah or Albert Dumfuo who emerges as a new president, there is a lot of glory waiting to be reclaimed for Ghanaian journalists. Manu Joy News, Accra.
Now let's show you the provisional results as declared by the Electoral Commission, and for you to know how it all turned out. Now, for Volta region, Mr. Dave Agbenu had 4 votes, Gerhard Mensah had 15, Albert Dumfuo had 23 votes. In the Northern region, Dave Agbenu polled 3 votes, Gerhard Mensah had 5, and Albert Dumfuo had 1. In the Ashanti region, Dave Agbenu had 8 votes, Gerhard Mensah had 5, and Albert Dumfuo had 13. Central region, Dave Agbenu had 5, Gerhard Mensah polled 5 votes, and Albert Dumfuo had 6 votes. In the Upper West region, Dave Agbenu had 1, Gerhard Mensah had 4, and Albert Dumfuo had 6. Now, in the Western region, Dave Agbenu had 1, Gerhard Mensah had 13, and Albert Dumfuo had 4. That's how it went. At GBC, for example, Dave Agbenu had 10, Gerhard Mensah polled 36 votes, and Albert Dumfuo had 53 votes. at the press center, as you head there, Dave Agbenu had 30, Gerard Mensah had 40 votes, and Albert Jumfo had 72 votes. In total, Dave Agbenu polled 142 votes, Gerard Mensah had 181 votes, and Albert Jumfo won with 233 votes. That's how it went. Now let's bring in the outgone president of the GJ, Roland Afel-Moni, who just joins us on phone for a quick chat on this. Now, thank you very much, Mr. Moni, for your time. Let's start with your quick reaction to the entire process.
The people have spoken, and we have no choice than to accept their choice. In every election, the confidence to win is a cornerstone of victory, and it's interesting to know that all the candidates before the final verdict were bristling with confidence. But one has emerged as the OB president of the GTA. Given the challenges which characterize the election, given the outlandish allegations, the slanderous accusations, given the high voting tension which we endured, one is inclined to believe or to even fear that these will rear the ugly heads again. So this underlines the need to appeal most profoundly to every member of the GTA to put the head behind them. This is the time to heal our wounds and assuage our pain. This is the time to pull in one direction in order to propel organizations to the place that it should be.
Now, there were concerns about missing names in the voters' register. That cannot go unanswered, can they?
I think the election committee should answer this question, any question related to the voters' register. But it was very embarrassing that the people who had paid their dues could not change their names on the voters' list. But this is not to say that the people who have suffered this embarrassing situation or disappointment outweigh the people whose names were captured. On the contrary, many of our people, voters, were captured on the voters' list. But this does not at all justify some of the challenges which visited the election. Not at all. So we need to ensure that every journalist, every member who pays their dues will have their legitimate right to vote and express their choice. But it's again unfortunate. I believe the election committee will explain the circumstances which led to some of these unfortunate incidents. Never again should we repeat them. And it's interesting. All this reinforces the point that, after all, we are not whiter than white, or purer than pure. Even though we journalists tend to portray, when it comes giving their penchant to criticize others. But the reality is that we are not perfect. So, but all this is serve as a wake-up call, as a learning curve, so that we roll out a better election in 3 years' time.
We are the same group of people who call out to the EC when they don't get theirs right.
Interesting.
What do you think must be done to ensure that these things do not happen, for us to say, well, we cannot have everything perfect, and so it's okay?
We should not wait to inject the necessary reforms into our administrative machinery, and we shouldn't wait until 11th hour before we start doing right. We didn't have time, no, because of the inordinate delay in holding the election. There was little time to display the register throughout the country. We had 2 weeks to organize all this. And so they're racing against time. The committee was racing against time. And the understanding was that better to hold an election to reduce the tension and to help us to redeem the time. than to further delay and then cause tensions to soar.
You've been the president for the past term. You have witnessed how the association has grown or otherwise. What one singular thing do you think the new administration should change to better place GJA going forward?
The electoral process is one area they need to look at, and then the membership drive or association. And many of those who are scrambling to be our members, the GJA is growing in popularity, in acceptance, nationally and internationally. But sometimes we've been slow, chronically slow in rolling out the membership, ID cards and all that. As these are all administrative issues we need to tackle. And I believe the next administration will waste no time to sharpen their focus in areas where we fall short, areas which are littered lapses, so that we'll move forward in all dimensions of our activities and our programs and what's up.
All right, thank you very much. I'm grateful for your time here. That's Mr. Afel. He is the immediate past president of GJA. Moving on to other stories. Many residents of Akango in the Nzema East municipality of the Western region have been forced out of their homes after torrential rains battered their community. Western region correspondent in Athalia Kwanzaa reports that floods have inundated the community, compelling residents to paddle canoes to get in and out of the community.
Yes, residents of Akango and its adjoining communities have been battling perennial flooding at the peak of the raining season. This year has not been exceptional. A kilometer of the road is still underwater. I am told the situation is worse with other communities in this municipality. Some residents shared with me what they say has been an annual ritual. They have made several complaints for help, but to no avail.
5 days. Yentimin chakra yanko hanso aduane a yebedi so eden maye ti yebaye o se yetwa yedu hanso na moto sanfa ya edu edwom ho nti.
It's been 5 days and we haven't been able to cross over. Food is also a problem. We go through hell for transportation. In and out, the fares cost us 4 cedis, which is 2 cedis each. For me, I would like it if they gave us a bridge. This happens every year. From here is a town called Dwale. They are even worse off. The kids there have not been to school the whole of this week. Even I will almost attack. So if you can pass by and see if you can help out, it will help a lot.
As bad as the situation is, others are also making fortune out of the situation. Maxwell and his friends here are owners of these canoes, are cashing by transporting people in and out of the flooded area.
Okay, my father said entire system. My father said the last time he said 4 years in it. Until you do sometime, Santa Craya you tell me. But we didn't and way no say Usiona at to be brain so can say Okoro Crown Quano. I am a baby 2009 and also Sweden and baby drink there at a way cry. I said, I kept to a one. Maybe I was more motive canon if I could be 2 cities. Neighbor was a far motto, and 20 cities. And in the final can I say, my best at 10 and say 15 cities. And I said, no, baby, I went there. I went to Rabba. I had ye. But you guys say, I also say, and so a concert because I see a sea a kind a cow on internal account. So they're for Sikano. Tina, bread.
Assembly member for the area, Aswa Beni says they have lost hope as they have continuously engaged stakeholders on their predicaments, but have not seen any action to help mitigate the flooding.
Oh, it hasn't been easy. When the road came here around 1989, and then since the completion, we'll be complaining to Atta Mills, we'll be complaining to Regent District, but there hasn't been any effort to the whatever we are asking them. Even recently, about 4 months ago, they went to Regent, they came to take designed from main Takwa Road to Duale. Looking at by the close of the year, maybe something possible will happen. As at now, there hasn't been any development. Okay. Actually, it has been a worry to us, but all the same, what do we do? Unless maybe there's a serious issue like this, when you come to aid, and maybe we will head somewhere. But the design is there already. It's in Accra.
Schools have been shut until the water receipts. The first and only owned Ghanaian mining company, Atta Mills Mines, provided some relief items to those affected.
Looking around at the level of distress created by the rains in these two communities, which fall inside our catchment area, we think it is part of the social responsibility to be able to help and do what we can to relieve the plight of the people who are affected. As we speak, we understand some of the houses, residences are underwater. The people do not have a means of traveling outside anywhere to be able to get access to some of the food items, and we think this is the best way we can support.
For Joy News, in Athalia Kwanza, Western Region.
As you're watching the Joy News Prime, still to come, Electricity Company of Ghana demands payment of at least 20% of debt owed it by the Kejetia market in Kumasi before power is restored.
Speak now. The government, and for that matter, the local government ministry, the Kumasi Metropolitan Assembly, the board and management of this facility have turned deaf ears to us.
Now, the Electricity Company of Ghana is demanding payment of at least 20% of debt owed it by the Kejetia market in Kumasi before power is restored. ECG disconnected power to the entire new Kejetia market on Wednesday, attracting angry reactions from the traders who have since threatened a demonstration in the coming days. The market owes the utility provider in excess of 5.4 million cedis, but the traders have refused to pay, demanding separate electricity meters. Nane Aljima has more in the following report.
The Kejetia city market operates over 7,000 stalls. A recent electricity bill distributed to the traders from a bulk consumption system at the market raised protest from the traders. They requested the installation of separate meters for each stall to regulate consumption. But the ECG is yet to respond to their request. The traders have refused to pay the bills owed ECG.
Until we are provided separate meters, we are not paying any bills.
The Electricity Company of Ghana earlier this week announced a planned emergency maintenance with expected power outage on Wednesday, 22nd June 2022. This was to improve service delivery. But the scheduled maintenance ended with an announcement of a mass disconnection. The entire market is without electricity. Eric Nanakwesi Prempe is chairman of the Federation of Kumasi Traders.
To the board of directors, to the Minister of Local Government, who have oversight responsibility over Kumasi Metropolitan Assembly, that we the traders here are very disappointed in them. For it has been over 2 years now that we requested that each trader needs his or her own separate meter. We were willing to pay for the cost of the meters. But as we speak now, the government, and for that matter, the local government ministry, the Kumasi Metropolitan Assembly, the board and management of this facility have turned deaf ears to us.
A number of traders were seen using flashlights to trade today. Market leaders have threatened to halt trading activities if power is not restored.
But upon going through the market, we realize that if we continue plying our trade in this darkness, it poses a security threat. So as we speak to you right now, the leadership and members have decided that we are going to go run through the market to tell our members that from this time to 3 o'clock p.m., everybody should close his or her shop. And from tomorrow going, if power is not restored to the market will not be open, because we cannot compromise on the security of our own people and then the market as a whole.
The various market unions say they've written to the Regional Police Command on a possible demonstration if the situation doesn't change. Mona Lisa Frempon reporting.
His 100,000 cedis remains locked up, but his biggest hope was to get his sight back. The story of 39-year-old Stephen Abuaje featured in Joy News' total record documentary Eyes on Menzgold. A philanthropist who heard the story has today paid Stephen's surgery bills and has given him undisclosed money for upkeep. The producer of the documentary, Joseph Akable, reports.
As soon as they've seen the sickness that is happening, even if the money is there, like they continue doing the surgery quick, it's a chance that I will get the eye back again. But as for the delaying and stuff, even that last week that I went there, he was telling me the delaying and stuff, I should pray to God that it's 50-50. Anything better can happen. So we should pray to God and then get the money and come. So that is my prayers every day. I'm seeing that people will see me through and then the eye will be seeing again. If even the eye is there, I will not follow this money. I will start something again because I'm a forceful person. I always force myself to get something for my family.
That was Stephen's hope. He was part of aggrieved Menzgold customers featured in the documentary. Sometime in January 2020, he was part of a number of customers who pitched camp at the residence of Menzgold founder Nana Pia Mensah. It was a protest to demand payment of locked up funds.
So as I'm running and then I fell on the rough road. So as soon as I fell, I wake up and then the police grab me and then they put us in the car. So as we are going, I feel headache, heavy headache on my head. So as I came out, I decided to buy medicine myself and then take it. So as I take the medicine, still I always receive severe pains. So if sometimes I'm walking on the side, I need to put a cap on the head. So there's a time I see, I was sitting down at town, so I see if the person is coming to pass on my face or something, I see the person has like he has burned something. I say, what is happening to me? So I decided to go to hospital and then the doctor confirmed that I'm having an eye problem on the eye because of the fall that I fall. There is a problem, so I need to do something about it early. And then the surgery came in and then I couldn't make money because there is no money anywhere for me to go and find and do it. Then that I'm still there waiting for something better to come and then see what God will do.
24 hours after the documentary aired, a philanthropist who wants to remain anonymous got in touch. On Friday, Stephen's surgery bills were settled in full. He was also given the same amount of money for his upkeep and drugs as he prepares to have the surgery in August.
I feel very, very excited and I couldn't expect it, but you've made a great job for me. And what I will say is God bless the person who has helped me a lot. God bless you too as well. And my family, thank you so much for what you have done for me. I'm very, very excited today. I don't know what to say. I'm very, very happy. That is all I can say for now. My expectation is God should intervene and then things that the doctor said that he will take the surgery, everything will be perfect for me. And then I will gain my sight back again. That's my prayer that I'm coming to pray that God should intervene into it. Then everything will be perfect for me.
Now, the MP for Bongo, Edward Barr, is pushing for Health Minister Kweku Manu to brief Parliament on cases of COVID-19 recorded in Ghana and measures taken to limit its spread. The Health Minister has been programmed to answer a question on falling standards of palm oil on Ghanaian market. According to Edward Barr, the minister must use that opportunity to brief the House on government's preparedness to combat any potential spread.
I'm reading in the news about this monkeypox or what have you. I don't know what type of disease that thing is. I am scared. I've had situations where my constituents have asked me what this disease is about. Is it possible that in this coming week, we could invite the Minister of Health to tell us exactly what this thing is?
Very well. Honorable member, your concern is well.
No, but the point I'm making, I don't know why are you so excited?
What's the problem?
Why are you excited?
Honorable
I am
member,
saying this because it's a health issue.
the chair?
Yeah, it's a health issue.
I'm saying your concern is well noted.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker.
Now, the John Evans Atta Mills Memorial Heritage is assuring that all issues surrounding the abandoned Atta Mills Presidential Library would be resolved in the shortest possible time in order to make the library functional. The library that was commissioned in 2016 to serve as a research, educational and tourism purposes has been left to rot, sparking concerns from residents. Speaking at a news conference ahead of the 10th commemorative Atta Mills Memorial Lectures in Cape Coast, chairperson of the local organizing committee for the Western and Central regions for the John Evans Atta Mills Heritage Lectures, Professor Francisca Dora Edubuando, says it's hurting that the library should be in the state in which it is now, but they are gradually resolving the issues surrounding it. There's more in this report.
The John Evans Atta Mills Presidential Library in Cape Coast, a memorial and research facility which was completed and inaugurated in 2016, is yet to be put to use. The abandonment of the facility for the past 6 years, residents of Cape Coast say represent an insult to the memories and legacy of the late president. But speaking at the news conference ahead of the Atta Mills Memorial Lectures in Cape Coast, chairperson of the committee for the Western and Central regions, Professor Francisca Dora Edubuando, indicated a lot was being done to resolve the issues surrounding it.
I have been associated with the library since the sword was cut. And I remember that the government of Ghana handed over the library to the University of Cape Coast to make it part of the institutional libraries of the university. I acknowledge that the university hasn't been able to use the library because of some unresolved issues. You asked whether the memorial heritage will sit down to look on unconcerned for the library to deteriorate further. I will say that it has come to the attention of the memorial heritage, and we believe that when the board of directors come for the lecture, they will take a trip to the place to look at it, and then they will take it from there.
She clarified that the lecture is being organized by the JEA Memorial Heritage and not any other institutional organization.
There may be other organizations, and I have heard about the institute, but this program is being organized by the JEA Mills Heritage, Memorial Heritage. I also said in my presentation that there have been earlier lectures. I remember very well that we have alternated with GIMPA to hold lectures to the memory of our late president. But with this heritage, which was launched just this year, I am sure very soon all other splinter groups may look forward to working together with the heritage, or there will be a way for us to know who holds not the legacy, but the link to this legacy.
The lecture comes off on the 29th of June 2022 in Cape Coast. Reporting for Joy News, Richard Kejetia, Cape Coast.
We'll take a quick break here. When we return, we have showbiz for you. Stay with us. Good night. Do enjoy the rest of the night, but kindly log on to myjoyonline.com for more news and information. My name is Samuel Kojo Brace.